your June monthly card class. So, as a reminder, I do a card class each month and it's by subscription only. I have a subscription button on my website, C2C Stamping, and you can subscribe to my monthly card class. And this month, we're playing with the Party Dies bundle, which we've never had a bundle quite like this before. So this is a 2 set of dies. Bundle is 125, so you get all of the banners and all of the alpha dies. This is the party alphabet dies. This is the party banner dies, and you get them together for 125. It is an investment, but there's a lot of value. The alpha dies are great. They're great for scrapbookers, but I wanted to show you how they're great for card makers as well. And I've actually got the English alphabet usable pieces on 3 of the magnet cards. And so that's kind of how I'm storing them in my organizer. These are the magnet cards from Stampin' Storage. And then the party banner actually all fits on one of the magnet cards, and this one's a little bit warped. We're going to use these 2. So the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 5th from the largest and the 6th from the largest. And I'm going to show you how we're going to use these. I'm going to set that one aside. But this also has holes and grommets for the corners of the banners. So if you were going to use this as like an actual banner, you could die punch holes at the top corners. And I like that these spacers fit into the corner, so you can easily, right, make these well spaced, and like you're not going to mess up the spacing. And then you can do the enforcers, grommet and reinforcers, whatever, which I really like. So anyway, great set of dies, and I can't wait to show you how to make some really cute cards from it. So let's get playing. Before we get started, I wanted to show you kind of something that didn't go great and how I'm still going to use it and make a cute card. So this is not part of the packet this month, but I cut this love out because I was going to use it for a brushing technique, but the O piece is missing. And when I tried to use it, it just looked weird. Anyway, so what I decided to do was still use it for a card. And I'm gonna take, this month I'm using the Pattern of Friendship stamp set, which I really like. And I'm gonna use two stamps fit in this little hole. I'm just gonna put the Bestie one here. I think it's cute. And I'm gonna get black. And I'm just gonna use Secret Sea as my ink. I think this is a fun color. It's not black, but it stamps really well and kind of that dark blue. And then I'm just going to glue this piece down. And then this was a mistake that I had cut, and so I'm gonna use it. So it should fit, hopefully, nice and tight, left and right. And then I'm gonna pop this up with some dimensionals just to give it a little height. I have the minis. I had regular dimensionals somewhere, but we're just gonna go with the minis today. It'll be fine. And I'll put a few to support, you know, the whole panel. That's probably about all I need. And then if we wanted to add like an embellishment or something, we could to the front. I might go back and add something later, but I just thought this was a fun way to use this piece and not put it, you know, I didn't want to toss it in the trash. So I thought that was a cute way to use it. So I know who will be getting that in the mail. I've started a card writing campaign with one of my best friends in Houston, and we don't get to talk to each other enough, so we started writing letters back and forth. All right, So the cards that we've designed for this month, this is the first one, and this is the one that uses the banner. So what's cool about this is that the banner you can use to actually cut the actual card front. And when you do that, you put the crease below the cutting line up there, right? So what that does is it cuts the left, the bottom, and the side, but it leaves that fold or crease intact. So it's still a card. So we did that, and then, I don't know where to put that. We're gonna put a piece of DSP on it because I think this looks really nice. And when we were prepping these, I cut a bunch of them upside down. So you might see some different cards with this paper at some point. I don't know. But this one's right side up. All right, and then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use my snips. It felt a little white on white, like that didn't look very good. And so what we decided to do was add a little bit of a border of the strawberry slush. So I'll show you how to use that. Let's see, stamp set. So we're gonna use, this sentiment's really sweet. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. We're gonna use strawberry slush, because this is a very fun color. So cute. So this lets you play a little bit with the new in colors, but it also, you know, gives you some exposure to the banner dies and the alphabet dies. All right, so I'm just adding this as a border piece right here. And then I'm gonna add this one as a border piece here, and I'm gonna try to make them equal-ish. When you're using liquid glue, that is a little bit harder, but that's okay. And then we'll put some more dimensionals behind here. I might put some on the border between those two just to hold them down. But then when we add that, now that it has that border, right now, we have a little bit more contrast, right? So, and then the pearls that go with the in colors, these flat pearls are super cute. And so I think we're gonna use a few of these on this one. I'll use some pinky ones because they're cute. And then with this one, I think I'll use some of the Secret C ones. So 1, 2. In the middle of the O, too much? Yeah? Okay, we'll add one up there. All right, so one card down. So in your packet, you're actually making 2 of these cards. So you're making 2 of these. And then you're gonna make 2 of these. So this uses the alpha dies, and what it does is you have some masks. So I made one that said hey and one that said love. So we'll use the hey one on this. And I'm gonna use my brush here. And I'm gonna use some Timid Tiger. And I'm gonna go up a little bit on this one because I want room to stamp a little sentiment on that one. So I'm gonna start off the page, right? And then I'm gonna come in and add some color. So I always start off, because if not, you're gonna get a really big splotch, and you don't want, see how splotchy that was? Now I'm gonna have to add more splotches there to even it out. It'll be okay. You can always add more color, but it's hard to take color away. And you'll just want to be careful as you do this. I kind of worked letter by letter. If you wanted to try to tape it down on the outside edges, you could. It looks like I'm gonna have darker bottoms. Oh, I think it's because I'm getting the corner. That's why. So there's always more ink in like the edges and the corners, and so if you ink up on the corner, you're gonna get a darker area. But it doesn't really matter, because once you take away the exterior, you'll see it looks pretty cute. Even if your letters are uneven, I think they look really cute. They look like they've been spray painted. I think that's why I like it. All right, so for this one, we're gonna stamp, hey, I think I'm gonna do, hey, thanks for being the best. I think that's a cute sentiment and one that we haven't used on a lot of the other ones. I'm gonna get a wipey. So I really like this Pattern of Friendship stamp set. I think it has a lot of sentiments that are very, very user friendly. And the fonts are fun, but they're not too fun, right? It's not like Comic Sans, but it's, you know, but they're cute. So just, you know, FYI, I like this stamp set a lot. It is an online exclusive. It is not in the catalog, but you can find it in the online section. All right, so I'm gonna do, hey, thanks for being the best. I'm hoping that's just a little, yeah. And then we're just going to mount it on a piece of Timid Tiger, and I'm just gonna use some dimensionals. It's a very flat card. There's not any extra, you know, pieces on here. So it's something that by popping it up with dimensionals, it just gives it a little extra oomph. And then of course we'll add some of the flat pearls. But I'm gonna over dimensionalize on this one. We're gonna do 9. So in your kit this month, you got the die cut piece to do hey or love. I did the love this way with the U, right? Because clearly I couldn't do it with the O because it wouldn't have masked correctly. So let's see. Let's add some pearls, because why not? It's fun. Super cute. All right, and then we're gonna make 2 of this card. So this card features all the in colors. It has the letters. So I did a happy birthday, an HB, and an HI. The H, the bar is on the lower half. So just FYI, it doesn't go like that. It goes like that. So you're gonna make one that says hi and one that says HB for happy birthday. And you're gonna use the mini corrugated embossing folder. Now, if you're getting this packet in the mail, I actually did the corrugating for you. If you are getting this packet in person from me, then, or I know that you have the corrugating folder, then you're gonna do it yourself. If I was gonna do this myself, I would take this copy paper, it's just very thin copy paper, and I'm going to glue the pieces down on a thin piece of copy paper, and then that will allow me to run it through the embossing folder all together, and I'll know that the lines are gonna line up. I think I don't want that color there. I think I want pink there. I'll do pink. And then I'll do the cloud cover. All right, so then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in the embossing folder, and I'm gonna use that line to line up my piece so my lines are going, you know, straight across. And then what that does is, if there's not something staining it, uh-oh, that's sad. Well, that's sad. I wonder where that came from. It's like a stain on my embossing folder. Well, shoot. Well, then I might end up doing my HB over here. I was gonna do it over here, or I can put one of the gems there. That's what I'll do. Perfect. So then I'm gonna take this whole panel and I'm going to glue it down. On my card base, not the wrong way. I don't know if it matters that much, but, and this is thick white cardstock, so you're just gonna make sure you bone fold it, you know, and then I'm just using some pressure to make sure that it glues down well. And then we'll put some dimensionals on the back of these guys so that we can pop them up. Regular dimensionals will fit fine on these, but I do like the little ones. It gets a little tight on the crossbars right there. So, you know, if you have the minis and you want to use them, I think they're great for this. And then for this one, you know, you can stamp happy birthday on the inside if you wanted. You could put nothing and just write a note. Sometimes it's nice to have that, you know, on the outside, but sometimes you just want to leave it blank to write whatever note you want to write. And then for this one, I actually used like one of every single color. So I went through and was like, oh, right, you know, which one, what do I want to add and where? And went through and added a bunch of different ones of these because I thought they were fun. So I think I'll go here. And I think we're missing a cloud cover. So now I have to figure out where I want it to go. I'm going to do it there. Cute. Happy birthday. So hopefully you enjoyed this month's class. And if you have questions about the subscription, I'll put a link below if you would like to subscribe to the monthly class. But each month I try to include some product. So this month it was like half a pack of the jewels. You know, if there's DSP, I didn't include like a quarter pack of this DSP because we're not using a ton of it. But hopefully you like all the cards and you thought that was a fun class. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions about stamping or about my classes or team or anything like that, please let me know. Hope you're having a great summer. Stay cool, stay safe, and bye y'all. See you later.